What's up, all of our horror movie loving fuckers out there? Hey, happy 2025. We are fucking back. And hey, everybody grab your drink real quick. Quick little cheers to 2025 and to being back. We did take us a little break through the holiday season. We got through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and all that good shit. And now we're back. It was a nice little break, And when I say break, I kind of take a break from everything as far as like the social media stuff, the everything, you know. Um, but yeah, we're back for another episode of Fright Flick Fuck Mary Kill, and welcome back, family. Hey, you all, it's been a minute, but I think you all know the routine. And if you're just showing up for some reason, if you're new to the shit show, this is where we all grab us a chair, we pull up around the table, we grab our favorite beverage, preferably alcoholic, because this show it really does go better when you're a little tipsy. But grab your drink. We're going to talk a little shit about a horror movie. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and all that stuff. It was good here, nice, relaxing. Like I said, kind of unplugged a little bit. I played a whole lot, and I still am playing a whole lot of the new Call of Duty. And if you stumble, I do play on there, and if you stumble across it, my name on there is Fright Flick Pod. And so yeah, that's me. If you see that, if you play Call of Duty, and you see it, that's me. I'm on there playing. But yeah, been playing a lot of the the Call of Duty, watching some movies and stuff like that. Um, Here in Kansas, where I'm at this moment, we just had our first official snow of the year. Super excited. I love wintertime. I love cold weather. And so a couple days ago, we got our first snow and it dumped like a little over a foot of snow. And so I love it. And so your boy had to go out there and do a little work. I had to kind of shovel off the driveway because once I get moved to my retirement place where I'm going to be living once I'm retired, here in a few more months, I plan on purchasing me a snow blower because where I'm going to be living, it gets some snow. And after I had to shovel my driveway, it just reassured me that I will be making that purchase of the snowblower, right? Where I can just go out there, push my little snowblower, blow the snow off the driveway, whatever I need to do. But yeah, the shoveling of the snow, I'm not doing that shit on a regular basis. But but yeah. So for this week's show, I was kind of looking because I haven't really looked into anything. I haven't watched really I haven't really been looking for anything to kind of talk about. And so I've just kind of, like I said, kind of took a break from a lot of stuff. And so I jumped on Shutter, just trying to see what's new. And I came across this movie that we're going to talk about. And, I love Shutter. If you don't have Shutter, if you're listening to this and you don't have it, it's worth it. I think it's like $5 or $6 a month or something like that, but well worth it. And so I pulled this one up on Shutter, and I never heard of this movie, never even heard of it until I went to Shutter and started looking through, and kind of new stuff that's just recently hit Shutter, and this one popped up, and I was like, well, shit, and one thing around here, family, you all know if you part of the family and you've been here a minute, we love independent horror. I love being able to put some attention to the movies that are not, big Hollywood out there where everybody to know about and hear about. So, and this is one of those. So it was, and if you're new to the show, I love independent horror movies. That is my favorite, and I'll take independent horror any day. And so, but yeah, this week we're going to be talking about a movie called Mind, Body, Spirit. I think this was released around May of 2024. So it's newer, but I've never heard of it until I said I came across it today. And you know, I don't really like to watch trailers and stuff like that. I don't like to look at reviews, and I like to watch it first and have my own fucking opinion because I don't give a shit what somebody else thinks about a movie. And the same way, I don't expect y'all to give a shit what I may think about this movie. I'm going to tell you, you need to go watch this movie, no matter what, no matter how I rate it. If I'm going to fuck it, marry it, or kill it, you need to watch it because it's a horror movie and it show some love to independent horror. So I'm telling you, go watch this movie. Don't base it on what I say. I will never, ever, you know, sit here and tell somebody do not watch that movie because it may be the best thing you ever seen, even though I may not like a certain movie. So it is what it is. There's a lot of movies that I love that people, when I tell them about them, they look at me like there's something fucking wrong with me. But I don't care. It's my opinion. It's what I like. So go watch the movie. It's on Shutter. Mind, Body, Spirit. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick little read, kind of like a little IMDb, kind of what it's about type thing. Uh, Mind, Body, Spirit follows a lady named Anya, and I'm reading this. So if you're watching on the YouTube and you see me kind of looking to the side, I'm looking at my screen to read this shit. But she's an aspiring yoga influencer as she embarks on a ritual practice left behind by her estranged grandmother. What starts as a spiritual self-help guide quickly evolves into something much more sinister. As Anya becomes obsessed with the mysterious power of the practice, she unwittingly unleashes an otherworldly entity, yeah, you know what I mean, that begins to take control of her life. Now, Anya must race to unlock the truth before her descent into madness threatens to consume her mind, body, and spirit. Now, um, if you're new to the shit show, we rate them around here on if I'd rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it. Marrying it being the best, top notch. I could watch this bad boy any day. Uh, Fucking it. That's our seed. Don't I mean that's our one night stand. That's our friends with benefits. That's the movie we just going to go to every now and then. We want to watch it again. We just don't know when. We just know at some point we're going to get a little urge. We're going to need to scratch a certain kind of itch, and that movie's going to be there. And then we got the kill. The kill I call the sea donkey. The one night stand. You did it. You're not proud of it. You ain't ever going to call it back. You ain't ever going back to it, and you hope you never bump into it again. So that's the kill. And so with this one, um, where do I begin? Basically, this thing is supposed to be kind of like a found footage type movie. Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of a lot of found footage movies. There's movies I enjoy. There's found footage. I got it. It's just not my go-to. It's just not, it doesn't get my dick hard. It's not that type of movie. I mean, that type of genre for me, the found footage it just isn't. But this one's supposed to be kind of like a found footage. And when I start watching it, basically we got us a girl, Anya. Anya is played by, hold on, let me pull this up. Anya's played by Sarah Bartholomew. Real quick, let me go back real quick. Directors of this movie, Alex, I'm gonna fuck up names because that's what we do here. Henes, Henes. Alex Henes. And then also Matthew Miranda, were the directors of this. But our main star in this one is going to be Sarah Bartholomew. Bartholomew plays Anya, and basically in this movie, she's like a one person show. It's very not many other people's in this thing. It's literally her carrying this whole thing. There is a chick in here. called her name is Mandy Breedy, and she plays shit, I don't forgot what her fucking name was. Oh, Kenzie. There's a friend of hers in this movie that comes into play later named Kenzie. But yeah, so we kind of took care of the name and stuff. So Anya is basically trying to start this like it's almost like a YouTube channel. It's this thing now that's real popular, this phrase an influencer. That's what she's trying to, I guess, be, is trying to become a and like this wellness person type influencer with like her own like YouTube type shit. And and after I watched it, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I said, we've had Zoom. There's a movie called Host that looks like a Zoom, big Zoom meeting, horror movie type thing. We've had that, a Zoom meeting. Um, we've also had the live streaming type horror live stream. One called a movie called Deadstream. If you haven't seen Deadstream, you definitely should check that one out. That's a good one. And so I'm like, we've had Zoom, we've had live stream, and now we're going to get us a wellness influencer horror movie. And so it one it, everything in this movie basically takes place in this house. She gets this house that she gets from her grandmother who has passed away. And in her will, the grandmother left this house to Anya. And like I said, it's supposed to be, it says found footage, but while I'm watching it, I'm like, is it really supposed to be found footage? Because I know I hear a lot of people get all up in there when it comes to found footage movies when they put like music and shit kind of like in the background or certain kinds of sounds. And this one does have that. And there's times when it's like found footage type shit going on, but then there's times where it's like, is it found footage or is it supposed to be like a regular movie with all the cinematic type shit going on? Because it kind of goes back and forth a little bit. So I don't know, but it is what it is. Some people may think found footage, whatever. I don't either way. But so yeah, we got our girl Anya. She inherits this house from her grandmother, and she's this yoga person. So Anya's plan to become this influencer is to do these videos of her, talking whatever kind of yoga wellness talk shit and doing some yoga stuff. And I'm not hating on yoga people. I've attempted, I say attempted because, I've done it, tried it, and kudos to anybody that can get into that yoga stuff. I like it. All that stretching and stuff like that. I've done some yoga stuff before and been so fucking sore for like 2, 3 days. So I'm not hating on it. That's some badass shit that the people who can do that yoga stuff. So, but yeah, her thing is to do this video, to start this like influencer type shit. So she is in her grandma's house and it kind of starts off and it shows this one room, like yoga mats on the floor. You can tell she's got the camera set up and she is trying to do this start this video. Like this is what she's wanting to do. So and I like the fact that Anya, the lady, Miss Bartholomew that played her, does very well, in my opinion, of playing that part of somebody that's getting in front of like a camera or trying to stream or whatever for the first time and trying to figure that out. Because when she gets on there, she starts trying to do like her introductions and she keeps kind of messing it up and kind of going back to it and starting over. And hey, been there and done that, Anya. Hey, on this shit show, there's been a couple times I've got on here to record and start the little intro getting into it. And then I get so fucking, tongue tied or fuck up some shit where I just have to be like, okay, I'll chop that off and take that out. So she did really good at that. And she's trying, it's like she's trying to figure out who she wants to be on there, how she wants to be, and you can just tell, because sometimes when it comes to stuff like that, especially that maybe that influencer type thing where you feel like you got to be a certain way to cater to the masses or whatever, and while I'm watching her start, I'm just like, damn it, Anya, just fucking do you. Just fucking send it. That's what we do on this shit show most of the time. We just jump out here and send it. And so yeah, it's just she's doing the so I'm thinking that these videos are gonna be like these like, 15, 20 minute like yoga type things. But when she does the first one, she does this one particular stretch, and then that was kind of it. And I'm just like, really? Like it's maybe I don't know. I just thought it would be a little more. I got it. It's a movie. You can't show us everything, whatever. But and she starts, and on this one part, she's doing this stretch, and and as soon as she starts doing this one particular stretch, I don't remember what the hell she called it, but she starts doing this one particular like stretch, picks this one knee up, leans forward, and I was just like, shit, I'd have busted my mouth 2 seconds into that bad boy. Like she leans over, and there's a part where she kind of stumbles, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I'm just like, "Shit, you ain't got to say you sorry." The fact that you got to the point you did, Anya, fucking impresses me. Cause like I said, Jay would have busted his mouth as soon as I tried to start tipping forward like she did. Now, there's a part when she's doing this when she stumbles and falls, and one thing I did like in this one is it didn't waste a lot of time starting to kind of get my attention because it's just the start of it interested me. Start doing the little video, the yoga thing. It was simple, but it had my attention. So it's quick to getting you into something's going on now, because when she kind of falls over, there's a bookcase in there. She kind of falls, hits the bookcase. It wasn't the best looking fall. It just did. It looked like an acting fall, like a fall that you knew you had to do this fall. It just didn't look natural, but it's okay. But when she stumbles against this bookshelf, a book falls off, kind of hits her in the head, maybe. But then, and this whole time, that's why I say found footage. She's got the camera set up there, seeing her, so you're still seeing it from like the camera's view. And there, she's looking at the bookshelf, and she notices something, so she grabs the camera, puts the camera up there, and you see there's a hole in the back part of this bookshelf, and behind the bookshelf is a door. And she makes a comment like that's a door. So she's going to move the bookshelf out of the way, and she's going to go investigate this thing. We all would. You just you got a house from grandma. Hold on, everybody. Itching in my throat. Everybody grab your drink. Just take this little gentleman jack break. Oh, yeah. If you're new to the show, me and the gentleman jack, we're on here together every time. So when I say gentleman jack break, that's our cue to take a little sip of our favorite beverage. But she, of course, opens this door. I think maybe she had tried to turn a light on or something. The light didn't come on. But so she had the camera, so that she'd flip the light on this little video camera, and she's kind of going up this into this room. And instantly I'm just like, no, not by myself, not doing it. I would phone a friend and be like, hey, you want to come over and hang out? And when that person got there, I'd be like, hey, let me show you this room. Then we're going to go in there together. But she's going to go in this bad boy all by herself. So she goes in there and it's all kind of dark, dusty and shit. And she goes in there and it's like this almost like this. She called it something like a pantry or something like grandma's hidden pantry or something. Because there's a lot of like shelves with like these bottles and stuff on it. And then there's something called, I think she was calling it candle bread. I think it was candle bread because I had to put it in my little notes that I did. I don't remember, but I think it was called candle bread. It looked like this old bread with candles stuck in it, and like it would. I don't know if somebody out there understands candle bread and let me know because I don't have no clue. But candle bread, all these bottles, and then it kind of gave me this vibe of like some little like witch doctor type shit, like some ritual type stuff. The way the bottles look, I've seen enough of those types of movies. And so she goes in there and she's looking around, all these bottles, this candle bread, and then you see a set of stairs, and then she's gonna start going up these stairs. And I'm sitting there going, nope, uh-uh. First off, you done found this little secret room. Now, in the secret room, you found a set of stairs that go up. No, I ain't doing that shit by myself in a house that, no. Like I said, I'm calling up a friend. I don't have many friends, but I'm calling up somebody to come up around. We're gonna go wander around together. So when she gets up there, a lot of creepy shit up there, and it's like an attic looking thing because it's like a just a whole lot of clutter and shit. Like there's like a chair with like this mannequin kind of laying on it. As soon as I seen that mannequin, I was like, oh hell no, like nope. And you see like these parts of a mannequin and just a lot of dust and clutter everywhere. And she comes across this. It almost looks like an altar type shit. And because it's got a whole lot of that candle bread all around, like just bunches of pieces of bread with candles in it. And there's just like this little cloth thing hanging on the wall that's got all these weird drawings on it. And there's like this drawing of like a yoga person sitting there type shit. I don't know. It looked weird. It it she had to be, I don't know. I would have been, as soon as I'd have seen that type of shit, I'd have been like, no, no, no. Grandma was into some devil type shit up in here, some devil voodoo shit. I'm out, because this shit had that look, like it looked like a little altar and shit. So, and then what really threw me, she sets the camera down because up to now she's been walking around with the camera looking at everything. Now she sets the camera down. She kind of goes up to the altar, and then I realize because we all know people when it comes to yoga, they do that shit bare feet, barefooted, and they on their little yoga mats and shit. Our girl Anya, after she found the door, did not put any shoes on at all. She just opened up this door, goes up them stairs, barefooted. Hey, that's a thing for me. I do not do bare feet. The only time this guy is barefooted is when I go to bed, um, and when I get into a shower. Uh, Even in my own house, I have some. I do have some Crocs. So if all you Croc haters out there, fuck you. I love my Crocs. I got some Crocs and I got some hookah. This is brand of like running shoes I like, but these hookah slip-on sandals that I'll wear around the house. And they're on my feet from the moment I roll out of bed. My feet slide into my little hookah sliders, and that's it. Bed and showers, man. I do not do bare feet walking around. And I, I'm OCD. I keep, my house is clean and everything like that. But it's a thing for me. Like my feet have gotten spoiled over, you know, they're kind of bougie. My feet don't. If I put my feet down on a regular like floor walking around, my feet are like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, I remember growing up being outside barefooted all the time, running around playing. Not no more. My feet have become spoiled. They're sensitive. They're bougie. Always got some type of like sandals or slides or something on my feet. But when I see our girl Anya up there walking around barefooted, it's all dusty and shit. You don't know what the fuck's been up there. You don't know what's on that floor, Anya. And you up there barefooted. No, up there in that voodoo shit, your toes might literally rot off just by being up there around all that candle bread and voodoo shit. So she goes up there, and at some point she's going to come across while she's up there. That's a journal from her grandmother, Varasha. That's the grandma's name, Varasha. This journal, and in the journal, it actually has, it's in like this different language, but it has it also in English. But it said it was for Anya. It's like to her girl, to her baby, whatever, Anya, to her granddaughter, basically. So this journal was literally wrote for Anya. So, and so then she goes back and gets back, and the whole time she's doing all this in front of the camera. And so she's the it's like the next day or something. She's doing trying to do the video thing again. She's doing this yoga pose type thing, and while she's doing it, I think she was doing some type of meditation, like how they sit down, legs crossed, close your eyes, ground yourself to the floor, breathe in, release all this bad energy type shit, getting into the zone. And while she's doing this, of course, her eyes are closed. Well, then you see the camera start moving all by itself, all by itself. Like I said, this is all coming kind of quick when this thing gets going. It's going, and I told you all, people, I spoiled the shit out of movies. So if you haven't seen it, go to Shudder and watch it, and then come listen to me spoil the shit out of it. But so the camera starts turning, and it kind of turns away, and then it kind of comes back toward. And I'm sitting there going, okay, uh, you already shit. We already been up in the voodoo attic up there with all the witches shit going on. We'd already been up there. You found that creepy ass book. You found the creepy ass candle bread, and now we seeing this camera starting to move on its own. Like, damn it, Anya, you went up there and you put your fucking bare feet all up on that damn voodoo shit. You done woke up some stuff now. Everybody grab your drinks. Gentleman Jack break, thank you. And so that's the first time you start to see like something's kind of off when that camera kind of does a little turn and come back. But then, it's also going to be a part where she'll video chat with her mom. Her and her mom are not on good terms. You can just kind of tell there's just some distance there. Her mom obviously was not a fan of Verasha. But the mom's upset that the daughter's even there. Like, she got the house on her wheel. The daughter basically packed up. She needed a change. She's looking for something, drove out there. Now she's in this house by herself, video chatting with mom. And like I said, mom's not a fan of grandma, which is her mother, Verasha. Now, and and I'm not going to give that part away, because I will say this: in this movie, there's going to be times when the camera or her computer, and she's walking around with it. You got to kind of pay attention to the surroundings. There'll be little something somewhere. I'm not going to give that kind of stuff away. But and so at this point, I'm interested. It's got my attention. Because it's something different. And I'm into it. And yeah, but apparently, like I said, the mom and the rest of the family didn't know shit about this house. I think mom knew. Mom knows something just wasn't quite right with Varasha. And there comes a point where we finally get introduced to a friend of hers named Kinsey. Kinsey is a influencer. She does this thing called Kinsey Fitness, I believe is what it called, where she does these little exercise videos, gets on there, influencer. She's pretty popular. She's got little, companies out there, having her do ads and shit for them. So she's making a little money off of it, not like hey, gentleman Jack, Mr. Jack Daniels out there, I'm more than willing to do a little commercial for y'all if you just let me know. But but yeah. So she invites Kinsey over to basically they're gonna do like a little video thing together. And you know, Kinsey knows that Anya's trying to get into this influencer side of the house type shit. And so she's talking to her. They're there. The camera's there. Like I said, still kind of found footage. Like the camera's sitting there. You got both of them on the little yoga mats, and they're kind of talking back and forth. And Kinsey's got this little fucking air about her where she just thinks her shit don't stink. And, she's trying to she's asking Anya these questions, and Anya hasn't really posted anything yet. She's just trying to put some stuff together, and Kenzie's kind of like, "What do you mean you haven't posted? Like, you got to do this, you got to do this stuff." And, Anya's trying to take some notes and shit. And Kenzie's just one of those that just like, she really does think very highly of herself, and you quickly dislike her. Like, no, bitch, you're not coming back to this house. Get out, you know? So the plan was to have them kind of like do this little exercise thing with Kenzie being like a guest on their show. So they have like little yoga mats. They got the little kettlebells out there and stuff like that. Well, then Kenzie starts her little routine, and she's like hardcore, like 100 miles an hour right out of the gate. And Anya's kind of like the, like not so high speed as Miss Kenzie is, you know. And then there's a part where there's it doesn't, Kenzie just puts off this vibe, and she kind of goes about her own way. Well, then Anya is trying to, I would say, find herself. I don't know. It doesn't really. This movie doesn't say kind of like what she did. She used to be in California. She packed up, left. Have no idea where she's at right now as far as like location wise. She's just in this house, and you could tell like she's trying to figure some shit out in her life. And it's like she's wanting to do this, influencer type thing, but it's like she's getting so caught up in it, trying to make it a certain way to make it perfect, I guess. But she's just trying to figure some shit out. And she thinks that she wants to do this like the yoga wellness type thing, but she's just not feeling it. But now she's got this book that Grandma Varasha left. And she starts kind of going through this book because some of it's in like this the grandmother's language, but some of it was translated to where she could read it. And she starts reading it, and it's basically like these steps. And she interprets this as like this spiritual, like step by step way to like really just figure your shit out. And so she's going to basically get to the point to where she's like, you know, we're going to hold off on the YouTube yoga shit. We're going to take you all on a journey, a spiritual journey with Anya and this book. She basically that's what she decides to do. She's going to basically, and it goes days like day one, and it kind of skips through, but it's like, like she starts off by doing this, whatever this is, right out of the book. And this is where she starts diddling with some shit that she shouldn't be, because there's this one part in the very beginning of when she starts going through this book where she's got to sit down, close her eyes, and she's doing this kind of like chanting, this little chant type. I forget what she's saying, like "Oh, I am" or some shit. I can't remember that part, but she's doing this like this chanting over and over again, same shit. And you can tell she's starting to feel a certain way. And I'm just sitting there going, Anya, girl, you need to shut it down. Like and the crazy part is she's fucking with some shit that she has no idea. She just thinks that, oh, grandma left me this book. Grandma's got my best interest at heart. Grandma is looking out for me. Grandma knows that I'm trying to find my way. It was all meant to be that I get this house. I come to this house. I find this journal. And now grandma has laid out step by steps for me to go on my spiritual journey to find myself. And so she's just going off this book, like just 100% all in. She's fucking sending it, people. I will give her credit. Anya just said, fuck it. We're going to send it and see what happens. And so as soon as she starts the little chanting thing, you could tell like some shit's going on. And as the movie progresses, one thing that I think Anya did very well is she starts kind of like losing herself in this journey, trying to, because the more she goes, some things start happening. And She just thinks that it's a path to get to to the to figure it all out. To have this moment of like, holy shit, Grandma Anya, I fucking appreciate it. You got me here, and now I'm good. And it does not. It doesn't go that way, people. Um, Grandma Varasha is not such a sweet little grandma old lady. There are parts in this movie where it kind of gives little flashes when all this shit's going on because she starts having some shit going on. Like some things are happening in this house. Like this old lady is like Varasha, Grandma Varasha is there. And there's something people I will say this when it comes in horror movies, older people in horror movies creep me out. Like they that's just an old person just ooh that's one of the things that gets me in horror movies is just creepy old people. I don't know what it is, but and so when it would show her and she's thinking like she's knows some shit's going on. Like she's hearing things and she just thinks like, "Oh, grandma, you're here just to cheer me on my journey to self fucking discovery." And so as it goes on, she just starts going downhill. You can tell. Like even in this journal, there's like this fucking diet that she tells her like you need to do this diet. And it's a smoothie looking shit. And that's basically it. Like she just and she's already kind of scrawny. She needs some beans and taters to get some meat on her bones. And she gets even smaller as she starts diving into this fucking journal. And there comes a part where she's like, there's a part where it's got to be some internal cleansing, is what this particular step was. And when I hear internal cleansing, you know, I think of you get that old good enema, that old good bowel cleaning, that just body flush it all out type shit. And and in this book, this journal, there's this part where it says you're supposed to take, and apparently this is a thing because she said what it was. I don't remember, but she takes this piece of string and she's supposed to swallow the string while still holding on to the end of it. Swallow it all the way down and then pull the string back out. And that's supposed to be a way of taking some bad shit out. Well, when she goes to do this, it does not go as planned. I won't go into details how it all goes down, but it doesn't. It's not as simple as just, oh, just swallow the string and pull the string back out. No, our girl Anya catches hell in this particular part right here. And and at this point in the movie, I'm still with it. It's still kind of like, okay, and I just know that after the internal cleansing part of these steps, I would have been tossing that fucking journal. I'd have been like, nope. Well, then she starts still like she's committed to it. Like she's going just deeper and deeper. Like I have to figure everything out. I need to get this this spiritual journey. I need to figure out and get all my shit in order. And I need to do this. And so she just keeps on pushing through, and all this is on camera. Like she's still videotaping. Um, you know, eh, and I'm sitting there because there's certain parts of where I think where it says found footage, but there's parts of it that happen that the camera's sitting there and you're seeing something, but then this other stuff's going on, and you're like, I don't know if that's where we found footage or if that's what would be like some shit going on in her head. I don't know. It's kind of confusing, but hey, it is what it is. So there's a twist to this whole journal thing where I said earlier, Grandma Varasha isn't sweet little grandma that's just looking out for little Miss Anya. Um, Grandma wants to come back. Grandma's passed away. Grandma had a plan. Grandma was into the voodoo witchcraft shit up in the basement where her spirit wants to come back. She wasn't ready to just disappear and go away. So she had a plan to take this journal, put some steps in there, to basically what it does is it is a ritual to bring grandma back. Spirit of grandma goes straight Freaky Friday. Grandma spirit, bam, now inside of Anya. And so she basically takes over Anya's body. That's grandma's Varusha, however you say it. That was her master plan. But the whole time Anya's thinking, oh, my grandma, she's so good. She loved me so much. She left me in this house. Nah, bitch, grandma had a plan. She played you like a cheap little fiddle. Played you, Anya. And she's gonna take over. Um, there's some other stuff that goes down with her, and some shit goes down with her Kenzie, her friend. They have a big falling out, and there's parts that in this big falling out that when they're talking, like her and Kenzie are going at it, like they're taking some shots at each other. And because it seems like the more, because in the beginning, Anya has a kind of like quiet shyness, don't really want to bother nobody, wants to be like everybody, be like everybody. But as this little journey that she's going on through this book, through this journal, like she's becoming a little more like, it's almost like grandma's taking over a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time, because then she's getting a little more vocal, a little more like, I ain't gonna take shit from nobody. So her and Kenzie have this big ass falling out, and they're going back and forth. But there's a part in this argument where Kenzie goes, um, basically she thought Kenzie was a friend, but Kenzie comes out and tells her, like, I'm only here because your mom asked me to, because she was scared you were going to try to kill yourself again. So then I'm wondering, is our girl Anya, has she always had some kind of like, issues? Did she always have, mommy daddy issues? Daddy didn't hug me enough. Mama didn't say I love you enough. I don't know. You know, I don't know. But, who knows all the rough struggles of her life. Who knows? But and so the big falling out goes down, and this where it starts coming kind of, some of it's becoming predictable, because once you find out, because Anya's going to find out, she's going to figure it all out. There's a little process that goes down where she figures out what's going on with this journal, and she's going to realize that Mama did not have her best interest at heart, and she's going to, you know, all come together. And then it starts trying to fit. You're trying to kind of like, okay, I get it now. Um, Even when Kenzie, like you knew when this thing went down with Kenzie, at some point, Kenzie, you're gonna get fucked up. It's coming, Kenzie, and it does. Um, I liked the idea of of how they handled Kenzie. I did. I liked it, but I just wish I could have seen more. You know me, people. I'm a gore whore. I like it when the kill takes place there on screen. I don't like it when it kind of goes away. And there comes a part where a really, really good part could have been if you just left it there a little bit and let me kind of see it. It was there. It was gonna be that, oh hell yeah. But as this moment's about to happen, the camera starts turning away. I said, son of a bitch, they're gonna give me an off-screen kill. Camera starts turning away. Then it comes back around. Well, as it's turning, you start hearing some shit happening. And that's it. If it's a good part, I liked it because I knew what she was doing, because it kind of leads you up to it. Like I said, this is all still the camera's view when it's all going down, where she's going to finally, grandma is going to handle business. Because at this point, grandma's almost there. Grandma's got her almost to where she's going to be taking the wheel fully. And so when it comes down to handling Kenzie, I just wish I could have just seen it. And when if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go watch it, get it to that part, and then you'll kind of see, because when it leads up to it, I'm like, oh hell yeah. When you know what's about to happen, you're like, oh hell yeah. And then the camera starts moving. I'm sitting there, I was watching, I'm going like, no, what the fuck? No. Do not give me an off screen. And it did. But and Yeah, so there's parts of it where when I looked at the description after I watched it, I went looked at like the IMDb on it, and it was calling it kind of like found footage, supernatural type stuff. And I was like, found footage, yeah, but there's parts of it, I don't know, but I'm also the type though, I don't overthink I don't really get too deep. I'm not a very deep person. I wasn't gonna sit there and spin my wheels trying to break down every little, I don't care. I watch a movie and this is just how I talk about them, So, but yeah, it is, and I did spoil some of it, but I didn't get to how and what all goes down. So, but yeah, found footage, uh, wellness influencer. Apparently, that's a big thing now to be an influencer, because so many people out there can just be influenced by some person sitting behind the camera on the Insta. You know, I don't know. I don't get it. Influencer. Yeah. But yeah, everybody, one more time, we're gonna grab our drinks real quick. Gentleman Jack break. Thank you. So, mind, body, spirit. Um, I was okay with the story on this one. I think it had some I liked it had my attention in the beginning. It had my attention, had something going. Um I didn't get bored watching it. That's always a good thing for me because the moment I go for my phone and I start just kind of scrolling through the phone or messing with shit, looking at sports scores, at that point the movie's kind of lost me. But this one didn't. It kept my attention all the way through it. It did let me down on the one kill that I really would have liked to seen just a little bit more. Um, the creepy. I wish it would have gave you, and maybe I get it. The movie's like an hour and 20 minutes long. It's a good length, but it didn't have all the time to go into it. You never really understand how or where Grandma, how all this shit came about. You don't really ever know. You just know that Grandma had some fucked up shit up in her attic, a whole lot of candle bread and some weird drawings and a whole lot of bottles of like voodoo witchcraft shit. And I get that's I would have liked to know a little bit more, kind of where that comes from. But um, I it I was okay with the ending of it. You knew it was going to go the way it was going. It got to a point where it was predictable. You knew it was going to happen. Um, but I wasn't mad about it. But yeah. So like I said, it was I'm telling you all to go watch the movie. To go watch it on Shutter. Check it out. Now, my opinions, hey, it's just me talking shit. Me talking the way we talk around here, family. You all know the deal. Now I gotta rate it. I gotta rate it on whether or not I would fuck it, marry it, or kill it. Now for me, this one's gotta be a kill for me. This is a sea donkey. This is a one night stand. This is one that I've watched it and I'm not going to go back and watch it again. It's not one of those especially once you kind of know everything. It's not a watch over and over type movie. So it's got to be a kill for me. But I'm still telling you all, family, go out there, go watch the movie, go show some love to these independent horror movies, these directors and writers that do all this with very low budgets and stuff like that. Go show them some love and check the movie out. But yeah, mind, body, spirit, we got to kill it. And I'm not watching it again. Anya, girl, stop running around the house barefooted. Put some damn shoes on until you are on your yoga mat. Then the shoes can come off. Don't go up there trampling around in mama's and grandma's fucking, candle bread voodoo shit barefooted. No. But but yeah, that's going to do it for mind, body, spirit. And once again, hope you all had a great holiday season. And welcome back to the shit show. And you all know by now, people, I don't know what's going to be next week. Um, if everything goes right, there'll be an episode next week. Um, the way to keep up with that though is to follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Fright Flick FMK. Um, the YouTube, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Show us some love. Website, frightflickfmkpodcast.com. One stop shop, everything's there. Our Patreon's there, all the YouTube stuff's there, the podcast stuff's there. But I appreciate everybody who stops by and takes some time out of your day to listen to me ramble and talk some shit and do some drinking. You know, I appreciate it. But yeah, until next time, family. That's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Now, for all the new people that may just first time here, this is how we wrap it up in the end. Just kind of look around the room, do what everybody else is doing, and you're gonna be okay. But this is that part of the episode, family. You all know the deal. This is where I need you to reach over. I need you to grab your drinks. I need to gather up all your shit. I need you to put your chairs away, and I need y'all to get the fuck out of here.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Monsters!
All you have left is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver and some fava beans. Nice meat. It's nice.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive! It's alive!
Here's Johnny.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror.
Welcome to the debauchery.